Germany is set to welcome a new government in the coming days, with the CDU naming former politician and energy executive Katherina Reiche as the new economy minister. The role will now also include overseeing energy policy, a move seen as crucial amid economic uncertainty and climate concerns. DW's Warda Imran joins us now from Berlin with more on what lies ahead.
Hi, thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's a new beginning of sorts for Germany with a new incoming government. And this one seems to be quite different from the last. A lot more executives, managers, bosses than politicians, I think. But first, let's talk about the challenges. One of the biggest issues is the periods of stagnation or contractions. So essentially resulting in no GDP growth for Germany. We're expecting a third such year this year in 2025. And the new Minister Katherina Reiche, whose last position was CEO of an energy company, will be looking to somehow revive and kickstart this economy. Another big issue is, of course, high energy costs and also high costs of bureaucracy and operations. And these are complaints we hear from both companies and residents. So basically, the new minister will inherit an economy tainted by these domestic factors, but also by threats of trade wars and tariffs. And among all this is one silver lining, which is that there could be more focus on the green energy transition, as renewables could potentially help loosen up these high energy prices if implemented in the right way. And we're hearing that this is going to be one big priority of the new ministry. Yes, protecting the climate has been a top priority for Germans, and securing a reliable energy source is a top priority for the government. So the aim, I think, will be to take these two things together. And this is new, the shuffling of responsibilities and the inclusion of energy in the largely economy ministry. This is new for this particular government. And many analysts here are of the opinion that Katherina Reiche, with her experience at the energy company that she was heading, will be able to navigate the intersection of energy and economy better. The hope is that her years of corporate experience will positively impact policymaking and decision-making here in Germany. However, Germany doesn't really encourage executives to become politicians and vice versa. But the new government is trying to change that and bring more executives to the table. And generally, the CDU is generally not too keen on green policy. So the appointment of an energy executive as economy minister does seem like a strategy shift for the party as a whole to place more focus on the climate and energy crisis. Yeah, I mean, we've spoken to a lot of lobby groups, transparency groups, and independent economists. And while much of the sentiment is positive, transparency and lobby groups are saying that it's problematic when people with such close ties to the industry take on ministerial positions, going from CEO to federal minister, because then we can't say for sure if the necessary critical distance is maintained. This is a statement from transparency groups. And if lobbying efforts are assigned, then the fossil fuel lobby here is a massive one with a lot of money at their disposal. So there is a lot of worry here that this may impact decision making. But many major German companies have hailed this appointment. One thing we're constantly hearing, like I mentioned earlier, is the need to reduce electricity prices. And there is a lot of trust in Katherina Reiche that's shown by employer associations or family entrepreneurs association, and they're saying good things. And when we talk about residents, I think personally, many people here are just keen to see if the new government will pull through on their big promises and bring the much needed relief for residents. Ultimately, I think that's what's going on in residents' minds here. Is this government going to provide that relief, or are things going to get much worse? But we're expecting to hear about this very, very soon. The new government is supposed to take charge by early next week.